Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston, and today I'm back for the start of a brand new series on my channel on Franchise Hockey Manager 2. Yes, I'm finally starting up a series on this game. I've had this game for, I don't know, about a month and a half, 2 months now. I think I got this game right around when it came out. Oh, I didn't play it a lot at first. I just bought it when it came out because it was on sale when it came out for the first week. I think it was like $10 off. So I got it then. Didn't really play it a lot at first, but I've been getting into this game a lot while I was at school this past term, and wanted to make a YouTube series on it when I got back home for winter break, and I'm home for winter break, so seems like the right time. So we're going to start a new series on this game. It is much like OOTP. It is made by the same company that makes OOTP. You can see Out of the Park Developments right there on the bottom. So the formatting is very similar. The formatting for the series is going to be very similar, I think, to what I would do in an OOTP series. God, I can't talk right now. Where I might do, an off-season episode, a mid-season episode, something like that. We'll see. But, alright, let's start up a new game. We're going to start a new 2015-16 game. We'll just stick with the opening day database. That is fine. And for this series, we're going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto is definitely a rebuilding team. They've been a rebuilding team, I think you could say. They've only had that one playoff appearance in recent memory in 2013, when, of course, they choked away a 4-1 lead in the third period. And it's a team that just hired a new GM this past offseason, Lou Lamoriello, so it sort of makes sense for us to take them over right now. But, alright, so the playable leagues, I'm going to deselect a bunch of these. We don't need these to be playable. This actually just slows down the game. I think what will happen is, I'm not even 100% sure how exactly this works. I think what I want to do is keep some of the relevant leagues. I want to keep the Swedish Hockey League, the KHL. I definitely want the Canadian Junior Leagues. I'm trying to think. I think we might just be good with the KHL and these, because these leagues will still not. They won't I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I think you don't get the same stats from them if they're not playable. I think if you make them playable, you can get the game ratings on them, and the game ratings are a really important stat in this. So I think we'll just leave the KHL. Usually, like in my last league that I did, I think I left the Czech league, the top Czech league, the top Finnish league, the top Swedish league, and maybe the top Swiss league. But I think we're just gonna be fine with that. And yeah. Plus, I want the simulation to go relatively quickly. I didn't even think of what I'm going to do for the guy here. Probably going to have to cut out here and think about that for a sec. Alright, so Drake has been hired as the new GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I'm not sure if I should do GM and head coach or GM. I think I'm going to do just GM, because this is how I've done it primarily on this game, but I am going to give myself some control over the lineup, because if you just let the head coach or the assistant set your lineup, it's going to be really stupid, because I had I've been doing saves like the Predators and the Nationals, or the Predators and the Bruins before, and I remember if I try to auto set my lineup, so it would play like Philip Forsberg on the fourth line, and that's like, what are you doing? Alright, and then we're not going to start unemployed, of course. We're just going to give ourselves the job with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I have started unemployed before in this game. That's actually how I got hired by the Predators in one of my other saves. Which is kind of neat. I don't know if it would always be, because they were just the first team to offer me a job. I don't know if it would always be like that, or if it would be different, the different times you try it, but either way. Alright, so let's fire this baby up. I'm not even sure how long this is going to take to load, so I think I'm going to cut out again. Alright, I was right, that did take forever to load, but we are in, and we have our newest series fired up. So, yep, out with the old, in with the new Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, the new GM of Toronto. And let's take a look at the roster we've got to work with here. So Toronto's definitely, already in the rebuilding phase. They've got a bit of a young roster as it is. They've got some really good young prospects, or some good young players on their team as it is. Primarily, we can start with Morgan Rielly. He is a stud defenseman. He was the number 5 overall draft pick, I want to say, in 2012, and he's played a zillion games already. I think he's played most of his entry-level contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I guess I don't know about 2012-13, but either way, he's got 4.5 A-star potential. So the way the potentials in this, holy crap, the way the potentials work in this game is that the ratings are based on stars. The highest you can be, actually, you can go above 5 stars. You can actually be like a 5.5 or a 6 star if you're really, really good. But yeah, usually it's on a scale of, half a star to 5 stars, and 4.5 to 5 stars, superstar-ish. And I've seen Morgan Rielly play very, very well in this game. So I'm excited to have him. And the A at the end of the potential just means the accuracy. So all the guys on our team are going to have A-level scouting, but if we go to another team, you're going to see lots of Bs, lots of Cs, and I'm going to turn my scouting on to auto under the manager settings because I just don't want to bother with that. So we're going to set the lineup. Well, actually, for the first year, I'll leave the lineup setting to Babcock unless it gets really out of hand because I'm not planning on making the playoffs anyway, so I don't really care about the lineup. If it does get really out of hand, though, I've got guys playing like where I don't want them to play, then I will give myself lineup control. But for now, we'll just leave it to Mike Babcock. And that is the good thing about starting with Toronto is I think we have the coach I'm probably going to keep here. For the foreseeable future. Babcock is one of the highest rated coaches in this game. Now he's only got a 1-year contract in this, which doesn't really make too much sense. But he's definitely one of the highest rated coaches, and he coaches a defensive style. So I definitely see him being here by the time we reach Stanley Cup title contention, as long as he doesn't retire or anything. But back to the roster. So we got Morgan Rielly. Jake Gardiner also turns out to be pretty good in this game more often than not. So he ends up having a very high game rating. And game rating is one of the stats I like to use in this game a lot. I probably would use it like I would use WAR in OOTP. It's kind of a measure of how good a guy's been in this game. I think game rating is pretty important, and you can see literally if you hover over it, it just says the numerical indicator on a scale of 1 to 100. That measures how effectively the player is performing in his assigned role. And Gardner typically has a high game rating in this, even though he only has 3.5 star potential. It does happen. These ratings are not... You can't just take them at face value. You often have to use it as just a component and look at a bunch of other things. So I like to look at, all these ratings that they give because I think some of them are more important than others. I think hockey sense is pretty important. Quite often the best players in this game have a high hockey sense more than a high conditioning or high character. So I think hockey sense is very, very important, and will definitely be... it's definitely a tool I'm going to be using when I evaluate players. But Gardner is a guy to look out for. I think Gardner and Rielly are really the two D guys out of this group that I definitely will foresee being on this team for a while. Martin Marinson, potentially another. He's only got 3.5 A-star, though, so we'll see. And then as for the forward core, some young players, and some not so young players, but we've got James Van Riemsdyk, of course, probably one of the only guys in our forward core who is kind of an established, not superstar, but he's established himself as a pretty good player. 56 points last year, 61 the year before, and 30 goals at that. So he's got 3 years left on his deal. He's not making too much for now. He will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this deal, though, I'm assuming. Yep. So I don't know. Are we going to make the playoffs in the final 3 years of JVR's contract, or should we even just start thinking about moving him now? I mean, it is a relevant question to pose. We also have Tyler Bozak, who is making very similar money. He's only 3.5 star and he's already 29. He's a guy I might think about moving at some point. I definitely prefer Nazem Kadri over him. Kadri's got 4 A-star potential. I haven't really seen him turn out to be that good in this game in the couple of saves that I've done, but hopefully we can have some effect on that. Like I said, he's got 4A and he's got a high hockey sense, so that's good. We like that, and he can play a couple different positions, so we'll definitely be using him a lot. Brad Boyes, the veteran. They just got Michael Grabner from New York. He's 27 and a free agent at the end of the year, so we'll think about re-signing him. Now Horton, of course, I forgot about Nathan Horton, so I guess we can just put him on our long-term IR, and he will not count against the cap. So we send him to the injury list, and yeah, that money doesn't count against the cap. We just have to pay that money, so it stays realistic in that sense. And I didn't realize Grabner's up for 4 months. We can send him to the injury list as well. And then Joffrey Lupul's got 3 years left on his deal. We definitely want to move him at some point. And we want to move Dion Phaneuf at some point as well. He's got a lot of money left on his deal, but we would obviously like to move that. He's a 4A still, and he might be a good player. I don't know. We'll see this year, but he's just not somebody I foresee being on the team for very long. Now let's take a look at the Marlies. The Marlies are stacked this year. They have tons of good prospects. Willie Nylander, of course, the former number 7 overall pick, I want to say, in the 2014 draft. And then there's Kasperi Kapanen. I gotta learn how to pronounce that name. Of course, he was picked up in the Phil Kessel trade. And then we've got some 3.5 stars. Josh Lavo, Scott Arrington, some other guys. Richard Panik, and I don't know if Mark Arcabello is here somewhere. I guess he isn't, but and let's take a look at unsigned draftees. We don't want to look at the Marlies. We want to be looking at the Maple Leafs. Here we go. So of our unsigned draftees, our best prospects, Let's see, we've got, I don't even know these guys, to be honest. I know Timoshov, Jeremy Bracco, who goes to what college? Oh, he goes to BC. All right, I probably should have known that. 5'9". Guy whose name I can't pronounce. He's another 4-star forward. Andrew Nielsen, we got some 3.5 stars. Timoshov, Nikita Korostelov. So, not the best prospect core, but we'll definitely be looking to improve that. And, all right, so, I mean, this is pretty much, I mean, the way we're going to approach the beginning of this sort of, I guess, this process as the GM of the Maple Leafs is we're going to approach this like any normal rebuild. We're going to try and collect assets, get some first-round picks in here. Get any young players we think that could, help our team in the future, and try to clear money off the cap and all that good stuff. So, oh yeah, there's Mark Arcabella. I'm glad we have him. Cool. But all right, so that is going to do it for this first episode. I didn't really want to do much more than this. You can see we're already at, and I'll show you how long it takes to simulate just one day in this. It'll actually go by kind of quick because we're in the off season and because I have a bunch of those leagues disabled. You can see it didn't take that long there, but usually that bar would go to 100% and more. Sometimes they'd even loop. So it takes a while to simulate games in this. That's why I'm not sure how I'm going to be formatting the episodes in this. Now the trade deadline isn't until March 1st. So I don't know if I'll maybe just do the whole month of February in a video or something. I mean, I'm sure I'll be looking at the waiver wire throughout the year, looking to claim guys off of waivers. In fact, one thing I know I guess I won't do it so much in Season 1, but right after the preseason, I'm always looking to claim guys off of waivers. So I might just throw whatever whatever clips I might get, though, into the next episode. So I think we will just cut it out here and end off. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys are excited for the return of videos like these. I know I haven't really posted OTP or Franchise Hockey Manager in a damn while, and I know you guys enjoy these videos, so hopefully you will be satisfied. But all right, thanks so much, guys. Hope you enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.